What's up, guys? Good morning, good afternoon, good lunch, good breakfast. So, today is my last day in Montana, and I don't know if you guys can tell, but in the background it is snowing. Raining, snowing, and that pretty much is going to set the tone for how my video is going to be today. I've been doing a lot of thinking. So much thinking that I don't know how to title these videos sometimes. Sometimes I come into these videos and I just want to be super happy and I want to have this like life and I want to make you guys feel like, oh shit, this dude's just doing things that I want to do. This guy's saying so many things and it's so happy. But I'll be fucking very honest with you. Nobody's happy all the time. Nobody can just keep this fake shit going. And nobody can just live life by putting a mask on or putting a fucking clown mask on and trying to make people think a certain thing or do something. Everybody has some type of mask. Everybody's got this inside thing and everybody sees things from the outside. So on the outside, you guys see Montana Ricky and he's this super happy, outgoing guy. It's always smiling and making jokes and riding his bicycle and has no cares. And then there's Ricky Lopez. Ricky Lopez is this complex character who had a really hard upbringing in life and for some reason always feels like he has to apologize or say sorry for things that he says. Like, I have a hard time filtering myself. So if I hang out with a person, let's just say I hang out with you and you have a zit on your nose. I'm gonna fucking talk about that zit on your nose and I'm probably gonna make a joke of it, but the joke's funny to everyone around it, but it's usually not funny to you. And then I see your reaction and how you feel, and then I feel bad because I hurt your feelings. And then, you know, that's Montana Ricky making a joke or putting on a show, and then the guy that has to reap all the, you know, the repercussion of that is Ricky Lopez has to figure out how he can sweep up the mess that he just made. And that part's really hard. I guess what I'm trying to say is I would really love to come on these things. I don't know, like we've talked about it before. I don't know if this is a vlog. I don't know if it's a podcast, an emotional cast. I don't know if it's a real thing. What I do know is it's very therapeutic, and I also know that like the amount of people, the feedback that I get from these are actually touching. They actually mean something, and I'm not going to give up or I'm not going to stop doing these because I know there's certain people out there that look forward to these and also certain people that can relate to these. But also I have to be real with myself. For some reason, when I get on this fucking thing, I just get super emotional. And a lot of it is because I feel like it's like a diary almost. Like, some people like to sit and write in a diary. Ew. Other people like to write music. Some people like to listen to music. They play guitars, pianos. Everybody has their way of meditating or their way of coping with things or figuring out how their life's going. And somehow these videos have been I like them. They make me feel really good, and it makes me feel like I can be just super honest. Now, there's a lot of details and a lot of things that I have to leave out because they're decriminating. Either way, I don't want to put people's names out here if I have scenarios or situations that come up. And also, it isn't right if I bring up people's names. And also, I just want them to be honest and truthful, and I can't fake fucking shit. So like right now I should say like, hey, I went on this 4-day trip and I traveled all the way from New Jersey and I came here to Montana and I'm home and this is where I grew up and I should be happy and everything should be great. Well, I'm not happy. And the reason I'm not happy is everybody that I grew up with changed also. People got older, people moved, people don't like me, People have died. And the hardest part is when you're walking in town and you go to a local grocery mart and you bump into somebody and you're like, hey, Sam, I haven't seen you in a long time. How are you? And they give their side of the story and you give your side of your life story, and you both come together and you start reminiscing about the old times. And then you bring up like, hey, Sam, what's up with Nick? And then he just says, Nick died. And you're like, no way. Nick died? What do you mean? He's our age. What the fuck? And then he tells you the story of how Nick died, and you just, you know. All right, well, I totally lost my train of thought, and the house I'm staying at, my really good friend John Henry lives out in the country, so he gave me a call and was wondering where I was, and I just lied to him and told him I was sleepwalking and videotaping myself. So we're gonna go along with that, guys. All right, but yeah, man, when you meet a friend and you haven't seen him in a long time and you start talking and he tells you about somebody dying, it's like the worst thing in the world. And it starts making you think, and you go through all the life choices that you've made and the things you chose to do and where you live and why you do them, and it just makes you question life. And this sounds so horrible, but you know, depending on the scenario of how somebody dies, and coming where I come from, because we have, you know, it's a small town, a lot of people die from drug overdoses, or they die from getting killed in some drug deal or something crazy like that. And it's never natural causes or a heart attack or a car accident. You know, it's always just something fucking fucked up like that. So I start thinking like, God, I made really great choices and I'm super happy with what I've done with my life. And that sounds so bad, but it isn't. It goes to show, like, fuck, man, I've said it before, life is super short. Life is crazy. You can't predict anything. Any chance or scenario that you have that's presented in front of you, you should, a majority of the time, take it. If you're not afraid of it, or if it won't hurt you. And it doesn't matter what you say sometimes, because the majority of the time, you're only going to meet that person once. And fuck it. If you only meet that person once, what's the worst? You weren't going to say anything anyway, so if you do say something and it turns out bad, then it turns out bad. I don't know. I should be super happy that I came home, but I'm not. I miss my girlfriend from home. I don't miss my job. Missing your job's hard. I mean, I love what I do, but it's a job. You know what I'm saying? But I come here and I finally got to see my mother, and my mom's, said it before, 88 years old, and she's becoming senile and getting older, hard of hearing. She can't walk anymore. She has to use a cane or a crutch thing, you know, like the two thing. And it's just, it's sad, and I feel really bad for her. And it's something that you don't want to see, but it's part of life. People get older, they start to break down, their bodies don't work anymore, their mind becomes feeble, and you just have to try to cope with the idea of somebody that could possibly not be there anymore. And that part's what hurts the most for me, because I remember my mom being so vibrant and talkative and telling me do this and don't do that, and now she just sits on a chair and waits to be handed, you know, like waits for people to hand her stuff to eat and hand her her medicine and help her go to bed. And it just really sucks, and it hurts me, and I don't know what to do. And like I told you before, she told me, once you leave, don't you fucking come back. And you know, she told me she loves me, and she said I'm not going to be here forever. And I mean, thanks, Mom. It's a pretty fucking crazy thing to say to your son, but at the same time, I appreciate it, because I look at her now, and then I go back 5 years ago, and she was only 83, I mean, which is really old too, but her mind was way clearer and better, and just those words is kind of helping me cope with this. But at the same time, I'm still hurt, and it sucks. You know, I've been reading messages on there with people having, depression and feeling sad and having death and feeling the same way that I do. And, you know, I I can't personally tell you how you can cope with that or how you can get past it, but I can tell you what works for me. And what works for me is to just know that everything is out of my control, and the things that I can control, I try to take advantage of those. And the things that I can't take advantage of is trying to say what I have to say when I can say it, and treat it like maybe it'll be my last time saying it. And also knowing that I have to treasure every moment and every part of my life, no matter what it is, and take full advantage of everything that's here. And also mental health, like especially this topic, which is weird, is small town mental health. When you live in a small town, it's just depressing. You know everybody, you know how the streets are, you know that you're going to see the same person 3 times, maybe 4 times in one day. The same person works at the same store. He's been there since you were 10 years old. You're sick and tired of seeing him. The mall's falling apart. The same roads are the same roads. The same cop's been the same cop. Everything's the same. So it's just like this never-ending fucking dream that never wants to end. But you just have to remember, like, why are you here? What reasons? And a lot of time people say, well, I'm stuck, I have a family, and I have this. Well, discuss with your wife, man. Move on. Go somewhere. Think about it. Move to another town. Your mom's getting sick. Well, if your mom's getting sick, and, I know it sounds crazy to do this, but have a conversation while she's there and say, Mom, what do you think I should do with my life? And let me tell you, she's not going to say, hey, sit here next to me on my death fucking bed and waste your life crying around trying to do something that won't help me. Do something with your own life. And that's what you have to do. That's the hard reality. You can't just sit and wait for that moment when they are gone. You have to do something else. And I know this is seriously something fucked to talk about. And I know that, like, when we first started these, it was me talking into a phone, riding my bike around, acting all crazy. And now I'm just getting super emotional with these. But hey, guess what? This is me. This is my therapy. This is how I talk. This is how I cope with things. You guys are helping me to feel better about myself. So, did I enjoy my time in Montana? Yes. Did I see some people and have a really good time and laugh and smile? Yes. Did I get sad? Yes. Is it depressing? Hell yes. Do I feel like I need to come back here anymore? I don't know. I don't know what I should do. I know my mom tells me what she says, and I know it's very morbid. My mom says, if I die, don't you fucking ever come back here. And that part just sits in the back of my head, and I don't know what to do. But what I do know is I appreciate every single one of you guys, all of you guys, everybody that watches these, and everybody that leaves comments in the thing below and tells me about their stories and tells me how their life is. And I also appreciate the people that DM me or text me, or when they see me in person and they tell me how they think of things. I know my life is BMX, and that's what I do, but also I'm human. I have the same problems you guys have. It's just a different scenario. We all have it. I guess I'm gonna go get something to eat, and I'm gonna get on a plane and go scare the shit out of myself because I hate planes. It's dreary. This was a dreary video. It wasn't that happy, but I can leave you guys on a light note and say this. Do whatever you want to do in life. You only get one. And if what you want to do is selfish, so be it. If the people love you, they'll accept it, and they'll allow you to do it. They won't get angry at you, and they won't hold it against you. People that hold things against you or use the fact that they're your family or your friends or even your fucking girlfriend or your kids, and they do that, that's them being selfish, and that isn't right. So sometimes being selfish is good. Be selfish for yourself. Take care of yourself. Know that you are who you are, And this is the best that you could ever be. All right? And remember, everybody else has problems. I have problems. Look at me. Whoop-de-doo. I have 50-some thousand followers on Instagram. Woo! I have a little YouTube page with people that follow it. Woo! You know what I mean? But other than that, I have a life. And I have friends like you guys. And you're sitting here on your phones. I don't know if you're taking a shit. I don't know if you're in your car. I don't know if you're at work and you're breaking the law, or you're just sitting in your bed and you can't fall asleep and you're listening to these words. I just want to tell you guys I love you. Life's amazing. If you guys like, leave some comments. Tell me about your life. Follow, subscribe, put this shit on your Instagram stories. And when I land in New Jersey, we'll have a new conversation. It'll be a new day. And oh, let me show you how morbid Montana is. Check this out. I want to end it on this note, boys. This is what your BMX career will be like in 100 years. Alright, guys? Nothing lasts forever. This is what it looks like. Enjoy your life. Love you guys. Peace.